Cali to Chi-Town, it's Bears on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. First and foremost, Bears fans, happy Christmas Eve to every single one of you guys out there. I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday season with your loved ones and family. I know I definitely am. I have a couple of different updates and things I wanted to discuss with you guys on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. First and foremost, the Chicago Bears were once again back on the practice field in preparation for their massive matchup on Sunday Night Football against the San Francisco 49ers. And there was a lot of positives to take away from the Chicago Bears injury report. First and foremost, you look at wide receiver Luther Burden dealing with that ankle injury that he missed last week's game against the Green Bay Packers. He was limited today for the Chicago Bears during Wednesday's practice. He has 2 more days to see if he can be a go. Of course, you see Roma Dunze did not participate. CJ Gardner-Johnson dealing with that knee injury. It looked a lot worse during that Green Bay Packers game. He was a limited participant. But all in all, I'm looking at Luther Burden, wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. It will be absolutely huge to get him back this Sunday, hopefully against the San Francisco 49ers. You're thinking about getting him back. Then you'd have DJ Moore, Luther Burden. Of course, you have Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet, Ja'Day Walker. Hopefully he gets some more playing time as well. And then, of course, Ozzie Zaccheaus as well. So that's going to be something to monitor in regard to Luther Burden possibly playing for the Chicago Bears this Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. It also seems that the Chicago Bears will also be getting a massive boost in regards to George Kittle from the San Francisco 49ers, one of the best tight ends in the National Football League. During their big-time win over the Indianapolis Colts, he did suffer an ankle injury. Thank God it wasn't a high ankle sprain. Coach Kyle Shanahan of the San Francisco 49ers did mention in his press conference just the other day that George Kittle will have a chance to play, but he did not participate in Wednesday's practice for the San Francisco 49ers in their matchup against the Chicago Bears. And I will be first one to say that that would be a huge win for the Chicago Bears. You look at a guy like George Kittle, even at his age, one of the best tight ends in the National Football League, one of the best blocking tight ends, one of the best receiving tight ends. That's obviously a major target for quarterback Brock Purdy. If you have a not 100% George Kittle, that is a huge win for the Chicago Bears defense. Of course, we never wish for injuries, but whenever you have a guy of George Kittle, right? One of the best tight ends in the National Football League. You don't have to worry about him. And then you can really just hone in on a guy like Christian McCaffrey. That would be a huge boost for the Chicago Bears football team. So for the next couple of days, I'll see what happens with George Kittle. Like I said, Kyle Shanahan said, hey, it's not really that serious long term, but there is a good chance that he may miss this Sunday Night Football game against the Chicago Bears. So Bears fans, before I let you guys go on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, there's something that I really wanted to discuss with you guys and just get your opinion on. And it's about quarterback Caleb Williams, because I feel that the Bears are finally seeing Caleb Williams turn the corner and finally realizing why they drafted him. We all know that they drafted him with the first overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft. They knew that he had all the tools and capabilities to be a franchise quarterback. But I feel that when you're looking at that Green Bay Packers matchup and the huge comeback win over the Packers last Saturday, there was just a couple of plays that really made me feel that, hey, Caleb Williams has arrived. We're talking about that 4th and 4 play to the back of the end zone to Ja'Day Walker. And then, of course, the 46-yard dot in overtime to DJ Moore to walk off and get a huge win against the Green Bay Packers. And just those 2 throws alone make me feel that Caleb Williams is starting to understand. He is starting to get it. He is starting to truly become a very good quarterback in the National Football League. We all understood that Caleb Williams already has that clutch gene. He has 6 game-winning drives alone this season for the Chicago Bears. But you're starting to see the confidence of Caleb Williams. Even when he threw that ball to DJ Moore to walk it off against the Packers, while the ball was still in the air, you see Caleb Williams put his hands in his hand warmer like he knew that the game was over. That is a high-level confidence throw from Caleb Williams. He knew it was money the second he left his hands. Another thing that makes me feel that the Bears feel that Caleb Williams is really turning the corner is after he made that throw, you saw all his teammates rush to Caleb Williams just saying, hey, that was a big time throw. You just know that the players around them understand that they are starting to see something special from Caleb Williams. Not only that, the way that Ben Johnson really talks about Caleb Williams as well. Just the other day, Ben Johnson had this to say on Caleb Williams. We both have the same goals. We both care deeply about this team. We care deeply about the city. I care deeply about his success as well. I think we're mentally very similar. We share a lot of the same competitive drive. And when you see that competitive drive from Caleb Williams, you start seeing a healthy confidence and a healthy cockiness that is really because of Ben Johnson and what Ben Johnson is instilling in Caleb Williams. And for the first time in a long time, we have a head coach and offensive play caller and a quarterback that are working hand to hand, and it's working. And the crazy thing about this, Bears fans, is that we are still only in year one of Ben Johnson's system, and the Chicago Bears are 11-4, 1 win away from winning the NFC North, 2 wins away in the Seattle Seahawks loss of being the number 1 seed in the NFC, and it's only year one in Ben Johnson's system. I feel that Caleb Williams, just with those 2 throws alone in the win against the Green Bay Packers, has officially turned a corner and is officially the franchise quarterback of the Chicago Bears. And I know that he has had other games, right, this season where you're like, man, he is showing some very special talent. This is the reason why the Chicago Bears used the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft for moments like this. But those 2 throws, when the Chicago Bears had no business winning that football game, those two throws alone show me that, hey, the Chicago Bears finally got it right, not only at the quarterback position, but they finally got the head coaching hire right in Ben Johnson as well. When you think about how well Caleb Williams is playing this season, and once again, there's still 2 games left to play against the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday night, and then you end the season against the Detroit Lions. He is currently 11th in passing yards, 3,400 yards. He's tied 11th in passing touchdowns, 23 passing touchdowns. He only has 6 interceptions, which is tied 10th. And of course, when you look at the QBR, it's not the best, but when you really look at how well he's taking care of the football, you think about that clutch gene. Once again, 6 game-winning drives this season alone for the Chicago Bears offense, and you take all those factors, Caleb Williams is playing some very good football. You see him at the line of scrimmage. You see that he's starting to understanding how to read the field, what defenses are trying to do to him, the escapability and extending plays and, turning 3rd and 10s into big explosive plays for the Chicago Bears offense. You can finally tell that Ben Johnson fully trusts Caleb Williams. He wouldn't have called that last action play to DJ Moore if he didn't trust that Caleb Williams would be able to make that throw, right? So to me, you look at Caleb Williams in the month of December, we all said that Ben Johnson understood that we're going to play in the best football in the month of December. Caleb Williams echoed that sentiment. And in the month of December, Caleb Williams playing good football against a very good passing Cleveland Browns defense. 242 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Against a very stout, even without Micah Parsons, Green Bay Packers defense. He had 250 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. When you look at Cleveland, 112.5 passer rating. When you look at the Packers game, a 98.9 passer rating. Caleb Williams is starting to get it. He's officially starting to turn the corner. Obviously, Ben Johnson has echoed that. You could tell that his teammates have all the faith in the world in Caleb Williams. He is a true leader. And the only other thing I really need to see from Caleb Williams is he once again has another opportunity on Sunday Night Football to really shut up the doubters. They go into Santa Clara against a very good San Francisco 49ers team, and he puts on yet another really good passing performance where he is putting the team on his back. He has officially turned the corner. We can officially start having the conversations that Caleb Williams could possibly be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC going into the playoffs. And that is a rare sight for Chicago Bears fans. We haven't had the opportunity to say that a lot. I am all in on Caleb Williams, Bears fans, and I'm not sure if you guys agree with me. You guys can let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. But Caleb Williams has officially turned the corner for the Chicago Bears. He is a big reason why we are winning football games. So embrace it. Be happy about it. We finally have a good quarterback in Caleb Williams. We finally have a good head coach and offensive play caller, Ben Johnson, to pair with Caleb Williams. And once again, we are only in year one, and the Chicago Bears are 11-4. 1 win away from winning the NFC North division, and obviously 2 wins away, and the Seattle Seahawks lost from possibly being the number 1 seed in the NFC playoff picture, where teams would have to come through Chicago to get to the Super Bowl, and it's only year 1. I am on cloud 9, Bears fans. Enjoy the holiday season. As always, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. Other than that, be back for our all new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic.